All right, joined now by the new Bishop Guertin's Cardinals head coach, Coach Moore, who joins us live here on ESPN New Hampshire. Coach, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Well, tell me a little bit about this group of kids you've got here heading into week one. Are you excited to see them finally perform when it counts?
Yeah, we are. It's been a long process since I took the job back in February, and we have a very good group of seniors and a upperclassmen portion of guys that have worked really hard in the weight room since then, and have done a lot this summer to get ready for the season. So it's nice to actually finally get a chance to go out and compete where it matters.
You feel like you know the kids at this point pretty well?
Yeah, definitely. We've done a lot. We've from the weight room to some camps. We went to BC camp together as a team, and we've done the passing leagues. We spent a lot of time together. So even before the season started, and here we are 3 weeks in. Yesterday was our third week together. So I feel like I understand the group pretty well.
Again, Jeff Moore is our guest. Bishop Guertin opening up tonight against Manchester Central. The group of kids you mentioned are really, I guess, senior heavy. Is that fair to say? Is the senior class really the strength of the group?
Yeah, it definitely is. This is a really good senior group, and then it's for as far as the seniors are concerned, it's a pretty big group of seniors, and then there's some great support with a handful of juniors and sophomores that kind of round it off that are in the mix and competing for positions. So, but it definitely is, and the four captains have worked very, very hard, and they're very, very, very good skill players with that senior group as well.
Yeah, you mentioned the captains. What do they bring to the table specifically?
Definitely, great leadership, and they're hard workers. They've done just about everything they can to be ready to play. I couldn't imagine as far as the camps that they attended this summer. I couldn't. I honestly don't know if I could count them up. They've been all over the place. They've done the work. They're heavy into football, and they're very excitable kids.
Again, Coach Moore is our guest. Bishop Guertin opening up at home against Manchester Central. Speaking of the off-season rigors and how vigorous it's become the last couple of seasons, have you noticed that? Have you noticed that I guess the workload is more intensive for student athletes nowadays than it was 20, 25 years ago?
Yeah, I think it is. I think most families are specializing earlier, but there's definitely it's just so much more competitive these days. No matter what sport you're involved with, and in order to be competitive, you have to put in the extra work that you need to, as far as weight room conditioning and just exposure and with other football camps and recruiting and whatnot. So it's you have to put in a lot of work in the off season just to be ready to go from a coaching staff standpoint, and if you want to be real successful as a player.
So, what attracted you to the Bishop Guertin job in the first place? You mentioned you were hired back in February. You've been on board since then, but how did you end up at Bishop Guertin?
I was coaching at the college level the last couple of years at Framingham, just coordinating the defense down there, and I live in Nashua, and BG's right near my house. And the last couple of years, I've watched them a little bit, and I attended a very similar school myself. I went to Central Catholic in Lawrence, Mass, when I was younger. So I just thought it was a good fit for a bunch of reasons, and I figured if it ever opened up, it might be something I'd be interested in. And sure enough, it did open up this year, and I was looking to do something a little closer to home as a second job for me, and so that was easier on my family. Something was easier to do on my family, and it just seemed like it was a really good fit for a bunch of different reasons. There's location, the type of school it was a great brand of football, and it is the best academic / athletic institution in New Hampshire. It's incredible. As far as the community aspect of the school and professionalism there and the staff, it's really great, and I'm glad it's really worked out.
Well, you said the key word I was about to ask you is staff. What about some of the guys that are going to be helping you on the sideline as far as the coaching staff goes?
Yeah, I mean, I love the group of guys I put together. I mean, essentially, it's been a learning curve for myself and them as well. Getting started, it's a completely new staff for the most part. We did keep a couple guys on, but there's new coordinators from the top, and it's a whole new philosophy. And they're getting a chance to meet the kids, learn who the kids are, learn a little bit about the school, the administration. And they were learning new schemes over the summer, offensively and defensively, and special forces wise. So it's definitely been like I said, a huge learning curve for all of us as far as the staff is concerned.
What's been the biggest or most difficult thing to adjust to coming down from the college level and having to, I guess, reacquaint yourself with the high school level? Is there really a big difference, a big change in a particular area that you can talk about?
I mean, there's definitely a couple of things that I noticed. Obviously, is ability. We had a really good thing going at Framingham, and we won a lot of games. We had some really good players there. So it's ability. It's size, speed, strength, and then it's football IQ, which is just understanding X's and O's and understanding how drills are done. There's a lot of that's different. It's just at the college level, it's a lot more advanced. But coming back to high, it ends up being all very relevant too as well. I mean, it's still blocking, still tackling, it's still getting lined up. It's still throwing the football, catching the football. So when it all comes down to it, it's still very similar as well.
Again, Coach Jeff Moore is our guest. BG and Central is our Week 1 game of the week. Let's look at the opponent, Coach, quickly. You've got the Little Green on the docket. What do you know about Central going into the opener?
I really don't know too much about them, and I'm learning a lot about New Hampshire football and the teams we're playing as we go. From a history standpoint, I know Coach has been there for a while, and I know they're a tough downhill physical football team, and they're going to try and punch you right in the mouth and come straight at you. And I understand that aspect of what they're going to do. And I do know they have some good skill guys back from what I'm being told, and they'll throw it around a little bit as well. So we're trying to do the best we can to prepare for everything at this point. We Coach and I have not done a film exchange, so it's we're kind of going and doing the best we can to get prepared for the game based off of history. And I know they're going to be a physical, edgy group, and a bunch of city kids. They're tough kids, and they're going to come right at us.
I suppose you welcome that kind of a fight, so to speak, though, right, Coach?
We do. We've been pitching it all week. That's mostly likely what we'll see, and we're trying to practice that way, and we're trying to get our guys ready for for a street fight in the trenches.
Well, Coach, I appreciate the time you took today to speak with us, and obviously, good luck on Friday night.
Thank you so much. Go Cards.